Hi, uh, just wanted to quickly update you on how my journey is going. Um, so, about a year ago, my daughter, who was a senior in high school at the time, saw that they were going to do Sound of Music at Centerpoint Theater and that you could audition with a family member. So, she suggested that we audition together for Sound of Music, and I was like, "That's great, let's do that." got I had a headshot from work from some training that I did in Oklahoma City back last July and August, and so I was like, great! I already have a pretty. I mean, it was a professional headshot, so I had that. I updated my resume really quick and jumped through all the hoops, filled out the application, and I'm ready to submit. And she's like, actually, you know what? I'm too busy. I don't have time to do a show on top of, everything else I've got going this year in high school. So I'm like, you know what? I've already jumped through the hoops. So I changed on the application that I was not auditioning with her, that I was just, are you auditioning with a family member? I changed it from yes to no, and NA on everything else. And so, anyway, I was so blessed to get a call back for France, the butler. And so I was just thrilled when they gave me the part, when they called and said, we'd like to offer you the part of France. And maybe I was just a little bit spoiled that it worked out, and I wasn't ready for all of the no callbacks that I was about to get. Anyway, Sound of Music was a great run, and I met a friend in my cast who was involved in Bye Bye Birdie, and so he reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be in Bye Bye Birdie, and I'd already gotten a no callback on a couple of other shows by that point, and I said, all right, you know what, great. I got nothing going on. I really want to be involved in Bye Bye Birdie because it's such a charming play. I mean, I love that. So I'm like, if I can be of service, great. So they kind of like stuck me into little little missing jigsaw shaped puzzle pieces that I could kind of reasonably fit into in Bye Bye Birdie, and I had a wonderful time. So blessed to work with both the Sound of Music cast and crew and the Bye Bye Birdie cast and crew. And that show just closed. Now, at toward the end of Bye Bye Birdie, I auditioned for another show and got a call back. Actually, I got two callbacks in while I was in Bye Birdie for other shows slash projects, and so I my thesis going into that was I I'm sad when I don't get a call back, at least, right? Because oh yeah, I had just auditioned for Christmas Story, and they didn't give me a call back, and some of you might remember, I was like, well, if I can't get a call back for a department store Santa, I don't even know what I'm doing, you know. So it was nice to get some callbacks, because with with musical theater, you pretty much typically just sing, 30 to 60 seconds of a song, and that's about it. That plus your headshot plus your resume tells them whether or not they want to see you for a part. And I get that. But if I can get a call back, I can actually go into the room and deliver some dialogue, which there are so many talented people in this community, up and down the Wasatch Front, who can out-sing me any day of the week and out-dance me if there's some dancing involved. And so And yes, obviously they can deliver lines arguably better than I can. But that is where my strength lies. That's where I can actually compete, because I may not deliver the best performance, but I can deliver a very unique performance that, again, I'm an oddly shaped jigsaw puzzle piece, but I might fit your project. So I am just, again, I didn't get cast in the last two things that I did get called back for, but I got called back, and that was tremendous. That meant a lot to me. Now a lot of my friends and family have been like kind of whispering in my ear, like, well, hey man, you just need to be like less political on socials, or even get off social media altogether. Noted. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I am probably losing opportunities by just wearing my heart on my sleeve so much, whether it's with politics or with anything else. And if that's the case, I get it, but I have to say it's kind of a one-way street. There are people who hold opinions different than mine, who are always working, and yes, they're talented. They're probably more talented than I am, but they are also very active with their opinions online, on social media. And I'm okay with that. I think we should have a dialogue. I think we can have healthy, respectful disagreement and still work together. And as I say, I feel like that's a one-way street. I feel like there's a part of me that can't be silent when I see like people want to talk about the problems and they don't actually have solutions that are viable solutions. That bothers me, and it's so much lip service. It's like, oh yeah, right, social justice. Well, yeah, that's great, but who pays for social justice? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I have my opinions. Other people have their opinions. As long as other people are giving their opinions on social media, I feel like I have to provide some counterbalance. I guess I am a natural born devil's advocate. I'm a contrarian, because I like to think deeply about all the issues. And so if you came to me with an opinion that I actually agree with, I may still present a counter argument, just so that we're thinking about it. I really love Socratic dialogue. I like to lay the facts out as logically as possible and with minimal emotional bias and coloring into the discussion. And I know we're human beings. We care deeply about these things, and so it's hard to do that. It's hard to be objective. It's hard to tap into my inner Vulcan. But I do want, honestly, everyone to live long and prosper at my core. And if you don't agree with me politically, that's okay. I still love and admire and respect you as, just, if nothing else, you are a child of God, and you're my spirit sibling in my belief system, and I owe you my respect. I don't necessarily respect some of the actions of some people, but I do respect the person, the individual. Small I, individual, and I respect capital I, individual. Just the concept of individuality is so deeply, deeply important to me. We need to be able to express ourselves individually. We need to be able to say, look, these are the things I believe, whether you agree with them or not. And if you don't agree with them, that's fine. I'm not here to convince you necessarily. I just want to provide food for thought. Back to the showbiz of it all. I think part of the reason I haven't, like, I wanted to make movies since I was first introduced to shooting footage and editing it together in TV news when I was a sophomore in high school, 15 years old. And I got a taste for it, Our teacher showed us Citizen Kane, which some critics still believe is the most perfectly edited movie, and maybe even the most perfect movie ever made. And that was by a 23-year-old Orson Welles, who directed and portrayed Charles Foster Kane in the movie. And he portrayed this whole age range from young man to old man, the whole life of Charles Foster Kane. And it is, I know it's a boring movie. It's not interesting really by today's standards, but for when it came out, it was absolutely revolutionary. And ever since my TV news teacher back then showed it to us in the class, and then showed us Koyaanisqatsi and a couple other things, I've been thinking about how important it is to see things on as big a screen or stage as possible, and B, all of the little tiny things that, the elements, the technical elements, the nuances of the performances, all the decisions that go into filmmaking and into theater. And it's all very thrilling for me. And if I could just live in that world 24/7 and not worry about anything else, I would. Absolutely. But I'd still have to be on social media to promote the shows or the movies. So going on a social media fast is no longer an option for me. But I will try to tone down the rhetoric. But just know that if I do post things or like things that you don't agree with, I am not attacking anybody. I am not calling anybody out. I'm not putting anyone on blast. I am genuinely interested in a free exchange of ideas, and that's it. But I feel like people like me are sort of underrepresented in the industry, and I'd like to work to change that. People like me who are sort of more libertarian at heart, who really do want to look at both sides of an issue, and who are not super quick to do character assassination of people. I want to see the best in people. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I really believe in all the tenets of secular humanism. I'm an devout Christian, active member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, active temple going. I wear that proudly on my sleeve. And I am typically going to be voting conservative whenever I'm given the opportunity to vote on any issue. Conservative, libertarian, individualist. That doesn't mean you can't win me over to your point of view, but for some of your points of view, it's going to be a heavy lift. That's all I'm saying. Like lifting this chunky monkey. It's going to be a little harder of a lift. Maybe with the right leverage, you can do it. I don't know. All right, this has been 15 minutes. Thank you for watching. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to put it out there. So cool. Thank you. Long form. Yay. Love long form. Bye.